right, let's do it.
And we are live on Sam Tree TV
Yep.
with Sideline Talks. Edwin, the founder of Sideline Talks.
Let's
We
go.
just did an interview earlier today, and I got the opportunity to have him on stream. We're going to have some fun, some levels up in the production.
Let's do it.
All
Yeah,
right.
this is better than what you had the first time for sure.
Oh, yeah. feel so defeated though.
It's all good. We can run it back and pretend nothing happened.
I feel so defeated though.
It's all good. We can
Goes in every single one of these things here. Audio input. Paste. 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 And we're live on samtree.tv. And we have audio now. Okay. Oh, we're going to make it better. We're going to shorten the timer. And let's work together on the logos now.
Alright, fuck it.
3-minute timer.
We're not gonna get it done in 3 minutes. Not a chance.
I mean, we just went through it.
No, that's fair. Do four. Four. Trust. Okay, fair. Good compromise.
Okay. We have audio. We have merch. Let's go.
Alright, let's go.
So...
Now that's gonna suck.
Honestly, we can just run this. I can remove them. All right, we're picking the best logos. We got to agree on this. We got to come to a consensus.
Okay. All right. So this is what I ranked earlier, but now we're debating. All right. So what belongs where, in your opinion? Like
that number one.
Who's your number one?
Wow. Yeah, this is kind of difficult. All right, Thunder's way higher.
Really?
Yeah. Thunder is like.
There's no thunder in the thing though. This is the thing, bro.
This guy needs to get the heck out of here.
Okay, Blazers. Blazers does deserve some love.
Where can we put this? Because I would put this at last, bro.
17's fair. You can move the Pacers up and put them at 18. You can move the Pacers up and put them at 18.
The Pacers. Get the fuck out of here. Pacers need to be like here, bro.
Camera moving. Well.
Oh yeah.
Well. Oh, it's following you.
Yeah, it's face tracking now. We're cooked. This is last. How is the Wizards last?
What?
This versus
No. The Wizards is dog shit. No, but I get you. I'm cool with it. We gotta fix the camera. Chat. Yo, chat.
Chat, this is rough out here.
Chat, we're sorry, bro. We're sorry. What started as something great.
Honestly, though, running it back, you did make some pretty good decisions on the logos. I'll give you props on that.
I ain't a scrub.
Fuck these logos. We're moving on. We're moving on. We're moving to the next segments.
All right, let's restart the takes.
The take? I mean, do you have new takes?
No.
I mean, I think we're cooked. We're cooked on those.
All right. What is this?
So the final segment.
Yeah, let's go.
Was I need you to pick 5 athletes from different sports, and then you'll see what we do with that after.
Any or
Yeah,
like do I have to like them?
Well, it's like a game show. It's like you don't know why you're picking them, but you want to pick 5 athletes.
Okay, Carlos Alcaraz.
Carlos Alcaraz. Who is this? Boxer?
Disrespectful.
Tennis player.
Disrespectful. Wow. Disrespectful. Don't say that.
That's not good.
Who is this? What do you mean, who is this? This guy doesn't fucking know who Carlos Alcaraz is.
All right, who else?
I don't know where you're going with this because the last one, the fight one, like threw me off. So like I'm trying to think. I'm trying to cover all my whatever you want to call it. All right, let's take a fighter. Dustin Poirier. We love Dustin Poirier around here.
I mean, that's an interesting pick.
You have always hated on him.
I mean, you can pick John Jones. You're gonna pick this guy.
This is my guy. It's not about the guy. It's about your guy. That's what sport is about.
Rip. All right, who else you got?
Dustin Poirier, Carlos Alcaraz, I'm taking a wild one. You have no idea who he is. His name's Esteval Willian. No. Cole Palmer, Chelsea.
Cole Palmer.
Cole Palmer. Yeah, he's up there in that top left corner. Cole Palmer. This is my guy, for sure. He looks silly as fuck though, but yeah, he's my guy.
All right. Who else? You got two more?
Dustin Poirier, Cole Palmer. Let's take basketball. Let's go. Cade Cunningham.
Cade Cunningham. All right, one more.
What's missing? Football.
Yeah.
Lamar, bro. Lamar. Jaden's my guy, but Lamar's really my guy, bro. I need to see him win a championship just once in my life, please.
Do you think Lamar's gonna? I mean, he's got to leave the Ravens.
He's gonna win one. No, he's gonna win one in Baltimore.
In Baltimore.
Yes, bro. Stamp. That's the hot take, I guess. It shouldn't be, but yeah.
I mean, they're pretty trash right now, right?
Yeah,
he seems pretty frustrated.
Give him a chance. All right, cool. We got our 5 random guys. I don't know what we're doing here. This is very me, though. Every guy here I picked for a reason.
Okay. One moment. Bear with me here. Okay.
All right, let's go.
So, we got a tennis guy, we got a football guy, we got a basketball guy, and we got a soccer guy.
Mm-hmm.
Take a couple seconds. Okay. You need to switch all of their sports.
Okay.
And figure out.
I really like this.
The best way to do it. I'm gonna download.
Okay. How would I switch them up? What sport would they play? I kind of have Cade down. Easy.
Cade doing what? Tennis?
No, Cade would be a football player.
Yeah, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense.
We're fucked with Dustin, though. That dude can't do shit but fight. And he would agree. I swear. I bet you no other sport this dude could play.
Yeah, it's a hell of a pick for a random athlete challenge. Pretty unathletic.
Yeah, kind of fucked myself a bit. I might change it, actually. I'm going to wait. You're missing a basketball.
Type.
And an MMA glove.
Rip.
Mm-hmm. That's horrendous.
What just happened? The whole website just
X out.
That's crazy.
It's there.
That was the wrong file type.
What do you need?
PNG, yeah. All right. How are we moving these?
Okay. I think Cade would be an animal of a fighter, though, if he dedicated himself. Or Lamar could be nasty.
Cade and Lamar are your most versatile.
They're the most versatile.
I mean, these two making sense. It makes sense for them to switch. You kind of have to make him a football player because there's nothing else.
Cade?
No, Dustin.
That's why I said it. All right, so I guess Dustin's playing football. This is horrendous. I should have picked a different fighter. I was gonna pick Islam, but Islam can't do anything else. So, all right, we're gonna take Dustin. We're gonna say Cade. Cade's gonna fight. No, Cade can't fight. Who's gonna play basketball? All right. We'll take Cade to fight. Reason being, he'd walk in right now. He'd be heavyweight champion. Not champion. He'd be heavyweight material, and he'd be bigger than 90% of the heavyweights right now. So we're taking Cade right there.
Yeah,
I mean, bro, he would be.
He's huge.
He's huge.
Probably any NBA player.
He would give a lot of guys problems in the MMA. And I mean, UFC heavyweight division is dog shit. So we're gonna take Cade. All right. I'm gonna give Lamar. All right, let's give Carlos Alcaraz a soccer ball. No, give Lamar the soccer ball. No, give it to Alcaraz, I guess. Give Lamar the basketball. Give Cole Palmer the tennis ball, I guess. I wish I would have picked better athletes if I knew this is what I was walking. Bro, this is so funny. Out of context, it's like, what the fuck is going on?
I mean, it looks like Cade is the only one who has a shot.
Yeah.
Low key, he could do some damage. He's got finesse. He's got the stamina.
Alcaraz is dumb fast.
Yeah, athleticism.
Alcaraz is dumb fast.
Yeah, this is actually, honestly, everything's probably lit except Dustin.
Yeah, poor Dustin.
Rip.
Yeah, see ya, Dustin. I mean, if I could pick I would just pick Jones. He's the only one that could play football. But besides that, I mean, I've done worse,
Well, that's all the mini games.
All right, cool. YouTube.com at Sideline Talks, baby.
Yeah.
You know where to find me.
Bro, I can't believe I messed up the audio, bro. Those were great. Like, this was a whole clip right here, 5-minute clip, good to go.
If you come up with new games, I can run it back. Or we could come up with new games next time, run it back.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could definitely do this we'll do it again. More frequently. Good practice. Yeah, I mean, I definitely learned a couple of things on how to run it smoother. But yeah, this format, it's like that's just a video right there. It's 5 minutes.
I love this, bro. I love this. This is crazy. I'm pissed that this didn't come out.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
This is good.
That's see what I mean though. It's like these are different segments, and then you just have it right there.
W's, baby.
Well, we live and we learn.
Chat, even though we were speaking in silence, I appreciate y'all.
I mean, we could definitely do it with other leagues too. I was gonna do some with jerseys, with some shoes, basketball shoes. Like,
dude, we'll just run it back. We'll run it back. Yeah.
I mean, I also kind of purposely had these be more light. You know, there's definitely I got a lot more ideas. Like this one.
The takes would have been fire.
Because this is fun. It reminds me. I used to do that back in high school. I'd be Pat versus Tom in a fight. Who's gonna win? It'd just be fun to think about random crap like that. I gotta do cross sport too. That'll get the people going.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm sure basketball players, and
I mean the thing about basketball players is they're the most athletically gifted,
and they're giants. You forget they're just massive human beings. Well, any final words for the stream?
I appreciate y'all. Not what we wanted, but find me at Sideline Talks on all social platforms. Love you all.
Yeah.
We will definitely run this back.
Yeah.
Peace. Right there.
Well, it is right on.
Or what if you set it up here? Nah.
Now I like this, and we can set your phone up somewhere closer.
Do you see us?
Yeah.
Well?
Yeah.
And then can the mics connect to both phones?
No, I mean I'll just match the audio up.
Oh, okay.
If I'm shooting from here, though, we got to stay, behind merch.
Behind him?
Yeah.
He can be in between us. You take one side, I take this side.
Yeah, and we can just walk around. It's a nice wide shot.
Well, how far?
Probably to Word.
Works? You saw it? You checked it?
Yeah.
Did you start it?
Yeah.
Okay, work.
That's right. All right, this is the Sideline Talk.
Let's do it, baby.
Sam Tree TV interview.
Yeah, man. So much to tell. So much history
So,
on a basketball court too, with my boy Merch.
yeah, I guess for some context, we grew up knowing each other, and you have a sports, what would you call it, media company?
I think that's fair.
And it's definitely one of the things that inspired me to start doing what I was doing. You know, I had the opportunity to work with you early in the beginning, and
Played a big part.
yeah, and it was incredible to see like how much initiative it had.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, where do we even begin? What do you got for me? Where do we even start?
Start by breaking down what is it? What is it now? What do you want it to be?
So Sideline Talks right now is just a content channel on all social platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, even though we don't really use Instagram right now. It is meant to just, like, sports is my passion, obviously, but I feel like sports is like the biggest metaphor for life. That's one of Kobe's biggest sayings, and it really stuck with me and resonated with me. It's something we can all relate to. The stories within sports are something that can inspire a 70-year-old man and an 18-year or 8-year-old kid, you know, growing up and just looking for inspiration. It's not, I feel like there is no bounds. Sports has no bounds. And my only goal is to showcase that in every possible way. I got definitely big inspiration from Kobe, not from him just playing and the mentality, obviously, but what he was trying to build off the court. You know, he was trying to build an animation studio, books, like he basically was trying to build Harry Potter, but for basketball, in like a basketball world, right? And I resonated with that so much because like he stretches the bounds of sports, you know, in that way. And that's where I want to be in 10 years. I want to be stretching the bounds of sports, like Stranger Things, but sports themed in a way, you know, Toy Story, but with a basketball, football, boxing glove, you know, like instead of just seeing someone play basketball, Anthony Edwards dropped 40 on the NBA, you know, TV or the NBA YouTube channel. I want you to think of sports in a million different ways, and that's my biggest goal. I feel like right now the easiest way to get in is to make content about, you know, Anthony Edwards and his Adidas deal, or, you know, Kobe Bryant when he dropped this, and LeBron James with whatever, right? Like, but eventually I'd love to stretch what we think of when we think of sport.
And what do you think of when you think of sport? Like, what are the reasons you feel like you're so attracted to it?
In a way, well, yeah, it's because it saves lives. It keeps people out of trouble. It instills discipline, structure, boundaries, you know, keeps you out of trouble. You have to be healthy to play sports, you know, or you have to strive to be healthy to play sports. You have to know what it's like to be a part of a team, more than likely. Even the most individual sports require teamwork, right? Boxing, you still have a coach. Tennis, you still have a coach. You know what I mean? Like, and I just feel like it's so important because it promotes, I feel like, all the right things.
That's like my favorite thing about sports is it's like a framework that actually works.
Right.
Like, I'm so into reality, not scripted stuff.
Right.
And it's like one of the best forms of reality TV because it's like
it's happening right in front of us. Yeah.
And I feel like a big part of the beauty is they're also human. You know, it's like pushing the limits
That's
of like
the best thing.
what we can do.
Yeah. And you know what's really interesting is while I love sport to the death of me, I do feel like there is this thing that I'm starting not to like as of the past like 5 years. It's two things. It's like where we treat athletes almost like circus animals, and where we treat them like superheroes as well. You know, it's like they have to be this extreme thing, but in reality, it's like I feel like just keeping the art of the sport at the centerpiece is more important. It's not always the athlete, right? Although the athlete is super important, I just feel like sometimes I get a little bit thrown off with like, well, because of sports betting. We could get into that. I'm sure we will.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
But
later.
like, we treat them like circus animals to an extent, and then we treat them like they have to be your role model if they're your favorite athlete. That's not the truth either. You know what I mean? Like, the reality is you care about them because they play a sport that you are very interested in, and that should be the centerpiece, not always the person. You know, although the person is super important. But I mean, to me, the sport is 10 times more important. I don't know if that makes any sense.
That gets to the core of like why I wanted to help and why I wanted you in that position, because from my perspective, you know, it's like the way I see it in the music industry, like the way they treat someone like Kyrie.
Right. Ooh,
You know,
we get into Kyrie.
We as a country, I feel like, struggle with like idolatry, like the idea of like how to deal with people you look up to, and sports I feel like has it so rough because they don't. It's not like music; they don't have any outlet.
Right.
So it's like it feels like there's, unless you're a superstar like Kyrie, you have to kind of be in this box, and it's like you're walking on
eggshells.
thin ice for what? You know, for these media companies, like the fans don't want that.
Exactly.
You know.
I mean, there's a reason athletes are. It's really interesting. There's a reason athletes now all have YouTube channels.
Yeah.
Or make music, which is more rare, or make music, but it's because they don't want, like, they're getting tired of that as well. They don't want to be seen as circus animals, or private Instagrams like Finstas, where they showcase more like the watered down content, because the brands don't want this, you know, watered down content on the main page and blah, 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 blah. But it's like, these guys at the centerpiece of it, they don't want to be treated like circus animals, or most of the time, they don't want to be treated like role models either. They just want to exist within their art.
Yeah, that's one of this. I always get so frustrated when people are like, "Oh, that's the life you signed up for."
I hate that shit.
No, you didn't. Like, we don't have to live in a world where everyone's a hater.
Yeah, I hate that shit. You know, another thing that really bothers me about that is when people are like, "Well, he's made $100 million. Like, I wouldn't complain if I was making 100." It's like, dude. What? Like, yeah, well, guess what? You've never made $100 million. Neither have I. So we don't know what it's like to sit in those shoes.
Yeah.
So it's like, why don't we just show everyone that equal amount of grace? It's because we put them on this pedestal, because they make more money, because they get more girls, because they get more exposure, clicks, everything. That, like, you know?
I feel like that shows what, like, the critique person, like, that shows what they worship.
Right.
It's like, you really think money is like everything.
That's a good point.
You know, it's like, I'm sure if you talk to a lot of these people, like their parents are dead or something, they don't give a fuck about that money.
Exactly. 100%. 100%. Yeah, bro. No, yeah. I love everything about sport, except, you know, all the extra stuff that come with it sometimes.
So give me your kind of storyline of how it started and, you know, how we ended up working together on it, and, you know.
Yeah, so I was 18 and I was going to Nova Community College nearby here in Virginia, and I was studying communications because I was like, what the hell do I even want to do? My dad was like, you have to go. So I'm like, all right. And then I was like, all right, I want to do broadcast journalism, right? And I was like, okay, so Maryland, the University of Maryland has one of the best broadcast journalism programs in the country. So my goal was to go through Nova and then do that, right? And then I was thinking to myself, like, anytime I turn on the TV and see a broadcast journalist, a sports broadcast journalist, I see this cleaned up version of, like, you know, suit and tie, and, you know, they always have a nice haircut, and they always look solid, right? Cleaned up. And I was like, I hate that. Yeah. Like, that's just not me. And then I thought about, Mike Tyson once said, like, everyone worships Muhammad Ali, but I worship Roberto Duran, because he was like rugged. His mom died. He was going through some shit, but like, I related to him way more, right? And that's how I looked at someone called, his name's Kenny Beecham, which is crazy because now he's on TV, right? But he started off on YouTube. And Kenny's like, he's my, like, idol in a lot of ways, because he did it through YouTube, just press and record in his own room. And now it's this giant thing. And I was like, I want to do it like that. And when I saw it done in that way, I was like, man, it's possible. I was looking for someone to show me it's possible. Once I saw it was possible through him, I told my dad, like, hey, I want to drop out of school, 19 years old. And he was really, my dad's the best. Like, he never shot me down. He immediately was like, all right, but you better go all in.
And you dropped out solely to pursue this?
Yeah. That was the only thing in mind. And it's the only thing that's ever in my mind, you know? So he let me drop out. I had his blessing. And, but I didn't fulfill that. And it's really interesting because I didn't fulfill it, but my heart and my motivation was always there, but my mind wasn't, you know? And then maybe 2 years later, that was, so from 19, then I'm 21, like, kind of just in a daze, right? Getting high, doing stupid shit with my friends all the time. And then 21 years old, around that time, me and you reconnect. And the goal has always been, like, let's do this. I've made a couple YouTube videos, nothing special though, right? And then me and you reconnect, and you're like, yo, like, what is it that you want to do with this? I'm like, bro, I'm not sure. So me and you
No. Do you remember what happened? Remember what I said?
when we were this is when we were
Oh,
at my
this is
dad's house.
before,
Yeah,
this is
this is at my dad's house.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm not sure. So we started like kind of building like some mock-ups of like, you helped me build a new logo.
Yeah, early logo.
Yep, the early logo. We'll pop that up on the screen. Like, you were helping me like kind of just develop a vision, bringing my vision more to life. And I was like, okay, this is cool. Like I'm having fun. And then I was like, you know what? Like, let's do this. Like now I'm excited. And then I forget exactly what happened, but I never followed through with it. And we kind of stopped talking for a little bit. And then I moved in with my girlfriend, and then me and you kind of, we didn't talk for like a year in that space. You were never at the apartment. And then I moved again. So I was like, at this point, I'm like 23 years old, moved out, and I'm like down.
It's through COVID, right?
Yeah. It's around COVID time. Bro, I was down bad. And I was really struggling with self-image. I hadn't done anything for Sideline Talks in almost like 2 years. And I was like, bro, I want this so bad. And I remember it was around March, April, and I was like a year after COVID, and I was like, I need to figure something out now. And I told Carmel, I was like, yo, by the end of this season, like by the end of spring, I'm gonna develop some sort of vision, and we're gonna go after it. The next day you texted me. You texted me in the middle of the night, like 3 in the morning, and you're like, yo, it was something like, yo, God's calling me to help you.
Yeah, I got a message from God.
Yeah, you're like, God's calling me to help you, and you were like, yo, let's rebuild this, and I'm getting chills right now because that was the start of everything. That was the restart of everything, the rebirth of everything. Like, I saw you maybe every day for like a month. I feel like.
I think that's a really important note because that's something I picked up from Ye, which is if you have an intuition and you weigh it out and it's like this is a positive thing. Like you have, like the energy you have to have is like
100%.
God put this in my heart.
100%.
You know,
Yeah.
He wants me to get this
it's
out.
crazy. It's crazy. I still can't understand that fully.
I can't either.
But yeah, you came over every day. We developed a real vision. What is it gonna look like, right? And at first, me and you were like, all right, we're gonna start with Instagram posts. We're gonna start with JPEGs, right? Like a bunch of folders and highlighting stat lines and keeping it fun, and it's going to be an Instagram post. So we studied the Instagram algorithm, what the For You page is.
Yeah,
that
we're studying fonts, proportions,
colors, gradients.
Yeah, a million ways to write a score line.
Exactly, right? And then
Garrett Temple.
And then we were like doing all this with like, it was extravagant because it was like we were doing chrome lettering and like gradient colorways and how we were going to do colorways for every single team and how they were going to match every, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
after that, I'll never forget this day. We were in my office and you did the same thing we were doing except you made it in black and gray.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You did this, it was
took
like,
out all the graphics,
he took out all the graphic, all the
sauce.
chrome, all the gradient, all the everything.
Just bone, minimal.
Right, and he was, and I was pissed. It was like we were definitely in like a little fight because I was like, yo, man, like fuck this shit. And he was basically telling me like, Sammy was telling me, you're not understanding. They both communicate the same message. We need to find a way to stand out because if this is our competition and I can do the black and gray version in 5 seconds and it takes us an hour to do this version, then we need to find a different way to stand out, is kind of what you were saying. And I was like, yeah. And you were like, okay, we have to record. You have to be on camera. And we got in this wasn't a fight. It was more of like it was like a big disagreement though, because I was very against being on camera. I guess because I'm very self-conscious and I like don't want to do it. Like I just was like, I don't want to put myself out there. Because I know every time someone clicks, especially people who know you, they're judging you. And this is something that like I really want to get across is like, they are going to judge you. That is a fact. It's just a statement of truth. So when someone clicks on your stuff and they know you from high school, they're gonna say, this guy's a loser, or maybe this guy has potential, or whatever. Yes, thoughts are going to go through their brain. You have to accept that. That's number one, right? So you sat there with me, you were like, yo, we gotta do this. And I was like, no. And then we went back and forth, and then you were like, you have to. And I was like, fine. So I went downstairs to talk to my girlfriend, and I was like, my whole life, it was like a real big like caterpillar to butterfly moment because I went downstairs and I basically told her straight up, I was like, my whole life I've been scared. And I was like, the only way to get over this fear is to press record. And like, I just told her, like, I feel like up to this point I've been a loser because I've been letting my fears dictate my life. And then you were still in the office when I had that conversation with her. So I went back upstairs. I told you, all right, I'll do it. And then, but saying I'll do it is one thing that is different than actually doing it. So what I love about what Sammy did for me is that he followed up. And it wasn't in a way that was like, yo, like, I need this to be the best thing ever. He's like, no, I just need to see you on camera. Like, and send it to me, prove it to me, prove to me that you did it. And you would text me and say, like, did you do it? Is it done? And I'd be like, yeah, it is. But that consistency really kind of helped me a lot, because then I just pressed record. I just did it. And I sent it to you. And I purposely like did like a shitty thumbnail because I was like, I don't want anyone to see this, right? And that was the first YouTube video with like me on camera. You can see it. It has the Sideline Talks logo as the thumbnail, which I think is kind of beautiful, because when you go back to it, that's like the real rebirth of it, right? Yeah. That same night, you came over and then we made a logo. Yeah. Best logo ever. I think it's the best logo of all time. You can debate your mom, but like,
didn't I make that in like 2 minutes?
Yeah, he made it in like 30 seconds, honestly. He was like, yeah, this is it. You know, it had to be the size of a ball because of circle. Oh, let me give him a second.
Type shit. Is your light on? Mine is. Yeah, yours is. You're good. Where? Oh, please. Nice.
I really thought he was going to knock over the Starbucks cup. I'm like, really, bro?
I would have been on site.
Yeah, honestly. All right, anyway, so Sammy made that logo in like 2-3 minutes. Honest to God, it was done in like 5 minutes. Had to be a circle because it was the shape of a ball. Yeah. And then the inside has an S, and you know, we kind of thought of like, okay, a goalpost. Like, if you look at it, it's really random, but it makes perfect sense, and it's really beautiful. It's
got the quotes.
It's a perfect logo. So yeah, it's got the quotes inside, which makes it even better. But yeah, man, it was that from that moment on, I was like, all right, we're alive, and it took a lot of grind to get comfortable on camera, to get better at editing, to understand camera quality. And you know, something that really pisses me off is when young content creators come talk to me and they say like, yo, like, what camera should I buy? I'm like, bro, turn on your phone. Like, first show yourself that you're willing to make 25 videos on camera on your phone. Dude, I have recordings on my old iPhone that were like 7 hours long. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, and then you upload that to Final Cut Pro. But it proved to myself, like, all right, I want this, I care about this, I'm gonna do it. Now I deserve a nice camera. Like, people want the best high quality stuff right away, and I don't agree with that. And that was something that you definitely like preached to me as well. Is like, yo, just turn on your phone first. And that's definitely one thing. Something that I think is pretty cool that I did was, after we had that big conversation, I didn't want to gloss over this, because after we had that big conversation, I had a wall in my office that was pretty much naked, and I put all of my biggest inspirations on that list, but I put them when they first started. So like Kenny, I took a screenshot of his first video. Charles Oliveira, I took, like, because he's a big inspiration of mine. I took, I had a picture of him losing like 7 years ago. You know what I mean? Who else?
Picture of him losing.
Yeah, picture of him losing. Francis Ngannou. I had a picture of him in the sand dunes in like, I think it was in the Congo or something. Yeah. And like I wanted everyone at their very earliest phase. Like, I have a picture of Izzy up. I had a picture of Izzy up on my wall where he's like clearly like 15, 16. And he has a UFC glove in his hand. He's like, I'm gonna make the UFC. Everyone's like, bro, this guy's a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Like, of course he's not gonna make the UFC. It has like 12 likes on it, but I found it, right? I have a screenshot at the very top. It's like a whole box, and then at the very top of it is Conor McGregor with a tweet in 2013 saying, all I want is 50 million in my bank account, a jiu-jitsu black belt, and 2 gold belts. Like, is that too much to ask for? And the very first response is like something like, win a fight first, or like basically calling him a loser. And I'm like, that's what I was chasing, is like, you just first have to believe, set your intention out there, and then the rest will take care of itself. And I mean, we're not even there yet. So it's like, but that allowed me the confidence to like just press record, because I had to see them I wanted to see them every day. Like, they started somewhere. I have to start somewhere. I had to get comfortable with the idea of like, this is just the beginning, and it's going to take a while, and that's okay. Because for all these greats, it takes a while. So I was like really trying to tap into that energy of just, okay, we're here now.
And what was that kind of curve like? Like how much ups and downs was it? Do you feel like with each video you got like more motivated, or?
Yes and no. You could ask my girlfriend. Like, she, I mean, I'd complain to her every day, like every day. I would be on the verge of like quitting every day.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, bro, this is just too hard. It's not working. I'm not there. And it's all consuming. Like if you really love this shit, it's all consuming. If you really want to be great, it's all consuming. There is no halfway.
Yeah.
I don't know halfway. And I know you don't know halfway either. That's why sometimes, like maybe a few weeks ago, me and you sat down when we went to Taco Bamba, right? You were like, I'm just not there. The spark plug's just not on because you don't know how to do half, you know? So it's like, that's how I felt. And it was so all consuming that it was draining. And I felt like every day she had to talk me off a ledge and be like, yo, you're gonna make it happen. It's gonna come, it's gonna fall. And it took forever. And then, I mean, honest to God, bro, I didn't break through. So I started really going for it at like 23. And I'm 26 right now. And then it wasn't until last January, or this January, 2025 January, where I felt like my first real breakthrough. That's 2 years of almost like, not shit work, but just not feeling fulfilled, right? We had that Canelo video. Canelo video got like 20,000 views. I'm like, okay, but it wasn't enough, you know? It didn't satisfy me enough.
Lamar video.
The Lamar video, yeah.
The Jaden video.
That got 10,000, but the Jaden video. Yeah. And I remember, dude, the story behind the Jaden video is unbelievable because I had a background on my phone, right? Before Jaden got drafted to Washington, mind you, whoever's watching this in the future, I'm a diehard Commanders fan. My sports life begins with the Redskins, right? My relationship with my dad begins with the Redskins, right? So my earliest memory in my life is watching a Redskins game with my dad. So everything goes back to that, right?
Sports.
It's to sports, of course. Wow. And then now I'm 24. I only had like 300 subs. It just wasn't falling in the way I wanted. My boss at work had just passed away. We were very close. I was down bad. And I was like, look, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to record one more time. And I'm going to like put all I got into it. At the time, for a year, my background had been a quote of Jaden Daniels, just by coincidence, a quote of Jaden Daniels. I think his head coach had said something like, you can be good, you can be great, or you can be elite. And Jaden chose to be elite. And I like went into this whole process of looking at VR and how Jaden was using VR. And then I was like, okay, I love this. Like, I feel confident, I'm gonna go for it. And then I couldn't find any clips of him using the VR. Couldn't get enough interviews of him using the VR. And I was like starting to panic because I was like, bro, this is such a great topic, but there's nothing to go over it, right? And then I looked up my quote. I was like, look, at the very least, I want to take the video of the quote that I have in my background, and I might put that in the intro. So I typed in the quote, and then I search it up. I search up the quote, and then I click on a tweet. You go on the tweet, and there's a link. You click on the link, and it's like LSU, because he was going to LSU at the time. LSU offers a membership for like anyone who wants to support LSU NIL. In there, you click on it. I subscribed because I was like, I wonder what I could find here.
And that's how you got.
Boom! I got everything.
Yeah, because the footage
videos of him with the VR on.
Yeah.
Interviews, like, dude, I found like a gold mine. And that's when I was like, wow, this is gonna be like my breakthrough moment. It only ended up getting like 35,000 views, but that was more than I had ever gotten. Yeah. That was my breakthrough. That was like, I'm here, like I can do it.
I'd kill for that, man.
And that was a special moment. Maybe like when I look back at it, I feel like that's the one that changed my life for sure. Like that got me where I am now, and it's gonna get me where we're gonna get in 10 years.
But like the ant video is definitely like it's like just the all falls down, like the look at me, like it was just the one where your identity really came to fruition. Yeah. And like all of what's best about you was able to be on the table. Yeah. You know?
I mean, that was special as well, man. Like, so after the Jaden video, then we have Cam Ward. I did a Cam Ward video. That got us to 1,000 subs. That reached all my monetization requirements. It was a big moment. I felt so proud. And then I followed that up. I was like, bro, it's time to go harder. And I did the Anthony Edwards Adidas video. That was like my come out, like that my breakout moment. Like you said, like everyone knows who I am now. And yes, that sounds a little, you know, superficial, narcissistic. But like,
explain the aftermath of what happened.
I mean, bro, it's crazy. The Anthony Edwards video, post it, Adidas comments. I had 3 people on the marketing team reach out to me on Instagram and on Twitter. I'm not like a leechy person, so it didn't go through my mind to be like, yo, like sponsor me, bro. Like I responded to the comment kind of as a joke.
Let me get my own shoe.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Let me get my own shoe. So I responded to the comment Adidas left and said, yo, send a care package. I don't regret that, right? But like I had people actually reach out to me, and I didn't leech, and because I don't want to, right? I thought about it. I came to you, and you're like, no, let's just sit on it. Let's just wait. And but that video, I mean, I got love from so many people. It was unbelievable.
Had a member from the team of Adidas say the entire fucking creative staff watched it and loved it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
We're still recording with you.
Yeah. No, a member of the Adidas staff did reach out and say that the whole staff watched it and loved it, and that was a moment, man. That was a moment in time, and like I'm now chasing, like I can do better than that. You know, I know I can. But that was like all the work paid off, because that whole video I got to monetize. All that money went to me. Adidas didn't. They could have easily copyrighted me, and because I used a lot of their footage, they didn't. Shout out to Adidas, thank you very much. And they hooked me up, bro. I made about $2,000 on that video.
Easy over everything.
Yeah. I mean, look, okay, let's get into it, because the video's out now. It's over, so I can finally speak my truth a little bit about it. I've gotten so many comments on that video saying, they just copied Yeezy. They just copied Yeezy. Like, what a disservice for you not to speak about it.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at that. I mean, obviously, bro, one of my best friends is a diehard Yeezy guy. Of course I know that. I had run it by you prior. I'm like, bro, this is literally carbon copy.
I don't remember if I said it at the time, but I remember Ye had a quote himself of, everyone wants to make money off me, so I'm going to make it impossible to make money off me.
Yeah, and I just thought, like, yo, don't touch that, because it's, you know, you want to be brand friendly to start off, for sure. I mean, at the very least, you're trying to build a name. You know, the last thing you want is for them to copyright strike you. They could have, they didn't.
But it's also, at the end of the day, bro, it's like, influence just is, like, to someone like that, or really anyone who's moving culture like that, you know, it's like, when they're putting something out, it's a gesture. It's a proposition that this is what the future looks like.
Right.
So they're not going to be mad when the future looks like that.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. For sure. I mean, any Yeezy fans that watched that video and left a comment or feel the same way, I don't have anything against what you're saying, and you're probably right. But at the same time, I mean, I'm on the come up, and I'm not here to. I don't want to say go against the grain, because I can, but I don't want to do too much. I don't want to start a fire.
Yeah.
You know,
well, it's amazing.
So trying to build a name.
Like, the Ant shoe was so similar to the 700 V3.
Dude, they're carbon copy, bro. They're the same thing.
But I see the perspective, because he was trying to put out a basketball shoe for a while. But it's like, what happens if you have like a signature athlete wearing? Because the whole thing with him is he just can't be controlled, and so much of that is about like control.
Right.
And that's where, you know, earlier when you're talking about like pushing the boundaries, like I'm super into product, and you know, hopefully one day we'll be able to manifest some of those products.
100%. I mean, there's so much of what we did in that 6-month period that people haven't seen. And for example, my sister's boyfriend, he was asking me a bunch of questions. He's a young entrepreneur. He's got some hustle in him. He was just asking me questions like, so what do you want to do? I'm like, bro, I want to animate. I want to make cartoons. I want to make movies, like all revolved around sport. And he was like, what the hell? Like, he had no idea. And then we were talking about clothes, because he was like, well, you know, I thought about selling clothes and stuff. I'm like, yeah, bro, like me and Sammy came up with like all this shit, and no one knows about it yet. But like, I know one day it will see the light of day. And like, I'm excited for that, because that's where, you know, we reach at the mountain, like we both meet at the mountaintop and find the next mountaintop. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
And I'm just really excited for that. I still daydream about like going back to that and because me and you haven't finished what we started. You know, we're only like halfway up the mountain. You know what I mean? And like now you're going on your side, I'm going on my side, and I feel like we're gonna meet here, and then we're gonna snap it times 10. That's truly and honestly how I feel, and I'm excited for it because I feel like this is a good benchmark moment where now we get it all on camera.
Yeah.
But then they're gonna see in like 5, 6, 7 years what we can do, what we can actually do. Cause like, cool, like you made a video that got 300,000 views. That's how I feel. Okay, cool, I got a video that got 300,000 views. Right this second, how I feel is like an artist after having a one-hit wonder. You know what I mean? That's how I'm feeling. And that's not gonna be how my story ends. So it's like, okay, now can I do that consistently? Because this whole process of content and all that, like it was also like a process of me kind of learning how to be a winner. And like that video was like, cool, I got like the biggest win of my life.
Yeah.
But it's like now can you be known as a winner? Not just remembered for making something of a winning product one time, you know? Now I want to be remembered as a full-time winner. And in order to do that, your standard has to be 10 times higher.
Interesting. Yeah, that's I've heard like people break down like this framework of thought of like everything in life is just wins and losses, like all day.
Yeah.
Break it down into little wins and
Yeah.
losses.
Yeah, and it's interesting because
there's no losses, you know. There's just opportunity to learn.
lessons, all that, of course, yeah.
I'm gonna grab my coffee real quick.
Or you want to check the camera as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna check the time too, make sure you're good.
Yeah, it should be good.
Or
Time is it?
it's been 33 minutes since 2 o'clock, so 2:30.
Cool. Yeah, and then so now, I mean, I don't know if you want to get into what I'm up to now, or you want to ask me a different question.
But yeah, let's get into where you're at now, and then I want to talk broadly about the future of sports media.
Beautiful.
And
yeah.
that's where we can get into the
I love that.
Of,
so after the Ant video, I had I guess we could just call him an investor, a shark. I like to call him a shark, right? You think of the sharks on Shark Tank, this is kind of the guy I work with now. And he has a $100,000 cleat collection. And he was like, yo, I want to make content around this. I want to monetize it. And I was like, okay, but I need to get paid because I would be leaving my dreams, you know? I'd be putting my dreams a little bit on hold because essentially I'm starting a startup and that requires 110% of you.
Yes.
And it was a tough decision, but ultimately the pros outweighed the cons. I went back and forth a few times. I came to you, I came to another one of my best friends, Omar, went to my girlfriend, my dad. Everyone said the same thing. You have to say yes. And so I did. He has I don't know if I specified that it was a soccer cleat collection, but really what we want to do, because I said yes under the condition that we can make it a soccer media company, not just a soccer company, right? And not just a cleat company, sorry, a soccer media company, because we have a once-in-a-lifetime chance to do something special with the World Cup on our home turf. And I am not going to let that fly by just making content about cleats. Like I want to be at the games. I want to make content interviewing fans. I want to do a million things. This is the moment where you could build something special in America centered around soccer. There is no better moment than right now.
Yeah.
So I've committed fully to it. It pains me a lot because there's some days where I get pretty sad because I want to be making Sideline Talk stuff, but there's also, I was telling Sammy on the way here, I've hated soccer almost my whole life. Sorry if there's a soccer fan listening to. I've hated it. I'm just not a fan. I can't watch it. I think it's boring. And Sideline Talks has no bounds when it comes to sport. So I think it's like my moment to grasp soccer fully, accept it as one of my things as well, and fully expand my arsenal. And I was telling you earlier, it's like Thanos' last stone, and that's truly honest to God how I feel, because there's something special about it. It's the biggest sport in the world. And how can I say I'm sport-centric and not care about the biggest sport in the world? So I feel like ultimately in 4 years, I'll be able to be like, yeah, that was the best decision I ever made. But some days right now, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have said yes. I shouldn't have said yes. But I know in a few years, I'm going to see why I said yes. And I've also been able to give opportunity to a few of my good friends and hopefully empower them to also chase their dreams. They love soccer. They're big on soccer. And if I can give them an opportunity to be a part of a team and to build a team, that's something I've never done. The experience is invaluable. you know, and I'm getting paid. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not doing it for nothing. Like,
I'm thinking of the Steve Jobs speech he gave at Stanford, where he talks about connecting the dots. Have you heard that? Yeah, and he talked about, I was in these different typeface classes,
Yep.
learning about text, learning about proportions.
Yep.
And he's like, I didn't know why, but you know, the dots all come together
Yes.
and connect.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard though, because like I said, I just had that breakthrough. I feel
Yeah.
like a one-hit wonder. I like that. These thoughts are going through my brain. I'm sure there are people that. I mean, I got a comment on because after the Anthony Edwards video, I posted a Shea video about Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Converse, and in the comments, someone said like, "Yo, like you got to be more consistent." So I know that's a thought process. It's like this guy just posted a big video and he's gone. It's like, bro, I'm not just gone. Like I don't want to be gone, and it's not by choice, you know. But then it's tough. I think hopefully by the end of the year I'll post one more, a big one. Yeah, I mean, it's all it. There's this saying like it only takes everything, and I feel like I can't make. It's called False 12 Media, the soccer media company we're building. I feel like we can't make it unless we're all in, and yeah, there's other things I wish I could tell you. Maybe like not recording because I don't want to talk bad about other people. But all I know is I'm all in. I'm all in, and Omar's all in. So therefore, I know it'll work. But there is that little hanging feeling, you know, where I'm like, damn, I miss it so much. Because I'm building my own thing with Sideline Talks, and I feel like with the cleats and with the soccer media company, I'm building it for someone else. So that kind of hurts, but I do have ownership in it. So I guess like. The deal was good. It was a good deal. It's just sometimes it lingers. Those thoughts linger of like, damn, you know?
Reminds me of my friend brother. He's in a situation where like, you know, he just had to go take care of his family, take care of his nephew. And a lot of the conversations I'd have with him.
Nephew? My sister just had a daughter.
Yeah. And a lot of the conversations I had were when God calls you to be somewhere, like, it doesn't matter what you want.
Exactly.
You know, it just doesn't matter.
Exactly. And like he just referenced his friend having a nephew. My sister just had a daughter,
and
so I had a niece.
I swear to God, you don't know this. Like every time I'd come home from your place and it's like 11 o'clock, my mom's like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you doing it?" I'd always say like, "I'm helping my friend with his YouTube," and she's like, "Why?" Like people aren't gonna help you, and I was like, "Because he has little sisters that he's helping take care of."
Yeah.
And that's why like when this shit actually started taking off, it's like one of the happiest moments. I mean, it's like one of my proudest things to be a part of because like I'm so into this idea of like inspiration.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing how it works because like I was saying all these things to you, but it's like at the end of the day, I know that if I really believed that, like if I really like understood it, then I would have been doing it.
Right.
So it's almost like
that's interesting.
The aspiration, like where I wanted to be and I knew was true, but
that's
I wasn't
really
there,
interesting. Yeah.
came out and it's like you showed me in a way that it is possible.
Right, yeah. And I mean, for those who don't know, Sammy helps a lot of people, but a lot of people don't help themselves, you know? And that's something I've been telling him since day one. Like, I'm the investment that's gonna pay off because I have like shit to lose. He helps a lot of people that maybe don't have shit to lose and maybe don't have that extra drive to get up and get after it. And I know that, you know, you have felt maybe burned a couple times in the past, and it was just something for me as well where I was like, nah, like this is gonna work because we're both winners, you know?
Did you see that Allen Iverson speech? This one, I just saw this for the first time. He was like, I want to thank everybody, and I especially want to thank the ones who left my life, the ones who revealed their true intentions.
Right.
It wasn't too
I've never
late.
seen that, but yeah.
Yeah, and that one really stuck with me. Is like this idea of, you know, like actually being appreciative because it's like the longer a relationship like that goes on, like if you're gonna cheat on me, do it day one. Don't do it when we're kids. You know?
Fair. Yeah, that's fair.
And with everything though, it's always like a learning opportunity. Even if not like nothing else, like I learned a lot about.
No, yeah. I know you don't view it that way.
Yeah.
I view it like that way. I view it that way for you. You know what I mean? In a lot of ways.
Like in that process, one of the things I came up with was like, if we're in a room of 1,000 people and there's one viewer, so they walk into a room with 1,000 people, what can we do to have a conversation? Like that's like a foundational thought. And you know, like that's one of the reasons I advocate to just do stuff and don't think about like, oh, I need to get paid. It's like at the end of the day, there's an opportunity, like for me or for someone to work towards something.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where it's like, even in the hard, like if you're dealing with stuff right now where it's like there's struggle, that's teaching you how to run a company.
Yeah.
You know, it's teaching you how to address disagreements and
Yeah.
how to deal with all these different things.
On a personal level, I'll never forget something you told me. We were sitting in one of our good friends, one of my best friends, one of Sammy's friends, Omar. We were sitting in his like patio area, late summer night. We were talking about someone who I won't name, but you were telling me that he's going through a lot, and that you know, he's abusing drugs, sadly, and then because I was telling you that I was going through a hard time with my sisters and my family, and you were telling me like you should actually be appreciative that your hard times are what they are, because there's someone else out there whose hard times are, you know, 10 times like heavier.
Yeah.
You know, and like you should be grateful that God put these set of problems on your specific plate.
Yeah.
And that is something that has resonated with me forever, because like how lucky am I to complain? And I'm not complaining, but how lucky am I to have that problem of like, man, I'm learning how to run a company, and that is taking me away from my dreams. It's like, that is a great problem to have, you know? It's like you're still adding to your toolbox. You're still adding more to your arsenal. So it's like, don't be ungrateful. Just try and practice patience more. But yeah, something you taught me a long time ago was that like I should be more appreciative for my problems. So a lot of the times I wake up, I'm like, I get to work from home. Like I get to see my niece every day. I get to make sure my sister's healthy. I get to help out her boyfriend with whatever he needs.
Yeah.
Like, how lucky am I?
That's such a great,
you know what I mean?
like way to word it. Like I get to,
Yeah,
not I have
right.
to.
Exactly. And like it's such a blessing, you know, because like everything's temporary. So it's like my niece is never going to be this small again. You know, I'm never going to get to enjoy these specific moments with her.
And like the worst thing is to like ego yourself into just isolation.
Right.
It's like, they don't deserve this. They don't, and it's like, look what you deserve now. Like,
I'm too good for this.
Yeah.
No, you're not too good for anything, actually. You know, and like it's a blessing. I mean, the money that I've made has allowed me to help my sister as well, just with groceries in the house, and help her boyfriend as well. And I don't take any of that for granted. I'm grateful for every little thing, because there were times where I was broke, dead broke.
Yeah.
So who am I to complain? You know.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Let's get into it, because I know there's more. What do you got for me?
So I want to talk about the future of sports media, and I feel like this is a multifaceted thing. On one hand, what do we want to be the future of sports media? What are we going to manifest and make sure that happens? And then what are some of the things that we need to deal with as gambling? Like, did you just see the Kalshi CNN deal?
CNN deal, yeah.
The news is going to be a gambling app, so I can't imagine what's going to happen to sports.
Yeah, so something that kind of pisses me off a little bit, in a good way though, in a good way. All good things like we just talked about, right? All good things. But I will just say, something that does kind of annoy me is the fact that me and you, like the essence of what I was doing was anti-hot takes, anti treating athletes like circus animals, anti all this, right? I was like, I feel sometimes like, bro, we were so ahead of the curve like 7 years ago, right? And now it's caught up a little bit. Now look, first takes still exist. Stephen A is still kind of a clown, but everyone kind of knows now, like, we don't want that anymore, you know? Like the NBA is the perfect epitome or embodiment of it, because everyone's like, well, LeBron's better than MJ. MJ's better than LeBron. Kobe Bryant. But in reality, it's like, can you talk about setting a goddamn screen first? Do you understand what a pick and roll is? But that does
Stephen A. Smith video of him
boxing.
punch.
He's like all the way up here, and you know, like it's really bad. It's really bad. We let these guys, and sometimes women as well, have spaces that they don't really deserve because they got a piece of paper from a school. And it's like, no disrespect to Stephen A, because like he's talented as fuck.
Full disrespect to Stephen A.
He's talented as fuck, but there is a little bit of hint of disrespect for sure, because it's like, bro, you're not special.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he feels bigger than he acts as if he's bigger than the sport. He acts, bro. He walked in, and ESPN has so much blame for this because they empower him.
Yeah.
Like this dude fucking shows up to the Knicks playoff game, all iced out, walking through, you know, nice watch and everything, and ESPN's posting his walkthrough as if he's an athlete. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I never want to get, that is never my aspiration, to be bigger than the sport or to be bigger than the athletes. The sport is always first. That should always be ahead of me, right? It's like, it pisses me off. I could have kept going, but we're going to cut it for a second. And then we can talk about betting. Because it's like, man, this is real poison. This is real poison. This is not just poison in a way that it's like, oh, no, it's infiltrating young minds. The second, can kids even watch sports without getting a FanDuel ad anymore? No. It's not possible anymore. It's not possible anymore. So there's that aspect of it, that it's poisoning young minds and poisoning the way they view sport, something that to me is very sacred. So that really pisses me off. And I think that it's something that, I'm trying to think of how I want to word this, but I mean, Sideline Talks never, ever, ever, ever will have a sports gambling deal ever, a gambling deal period. If you do, that means I sold my soul to the devil, because that will never happen. So much of what I do is trying to curate a safe space for young individuals to enjoy sport. And if I can do that, that means I'm doing my job. Fuck the numbers. Fuck if I get 1 million views or whatever, right? I'd rather have 100,000 kids who are super enthusiastic and watch me because I allow that enthusiasm to have like a safe space. And it's really disheartening to see a lot of content creators take the bag. It really is.
Yeah.
Because, and like, look, I started this whole thing by saying Kenny is like my idol, but he has a sports gambling deal as well.
But it's also hard to blame. Like Sneeko,
No, I don't blame him.
Showed his offer, $20 million.
I don't blame him.
I do blame him. $20 million.
Yeah, like
is insane.
100%.
And that's for like Sneaky's not even that big.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
I mean,
can't imagine what Joe Rogan's
right,
getting from
right.
Literally probably $500 million.
What really kills me though is seeing someone like LeBron do it.
He does?
Yeah, he has a DraftKings deal.
Yeah,
that's bad, dude. That's bad. Kevin Durant as well.
Yeah, that's where it's just like,
that's greed, bro. That's greed at its highest.
It's truly not good.
But okay, Kenny, he's saying, like, I saw a tweet of his or something like that. He says, guys, like, I got to pay the bills. You know, he kind of is essentially saying, I know it's bad, but I have to say yes. So to a certain extent, I understand. But then it's like, now we can get into it. Now we can get really into it because.
Yeah, you're good.
Now we can really get into it because this is how we beat that. This is how we want to. Our thesis should be, how can we abolish the need for sports gambling, right? So essentially, I would love to be more vocal about that in my videos, right? As me and you build the clothing out for it in the future. So it's like, hey, we're never gonna do a sports gambling deal, but if you want to buy a T-shirt, you know what I mean, and that can, and if enough of you believe in that, and if I am spreading the message correctly, I don't need that shit. I feel like with someone like Kenny, he needs it. He in his head, he's like, I need that money. Maybe, you know, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but maybe in his head, he's like, I need it. I can't say no.
Well, no one needs money.
Sure. Yeah. But, you know, to keep his business afloat, blah, 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 sure. But what we can do is beat it. You know, I know we can beat it because it's like, well, you have to think more creatively in order to beat that, because that bag is huge.
Yeah, and the way they're doing it is that gambling is fun and entertaining. So they're using the fun and entertaining aspect of it to extract people's monies.
Right.
So if we can just make something that's more fun and entertaining, and it's almost like if every time someone was going to do a sports bet, they just put it into the Dow, like S&P 500.
Yeah.
And like over the course of a year, if you're sports gambling, you will be flat or negative after a certain amount of time.
Oh, 100%.
You know,
Yeah.
and
But back to how you beat that is you have to be creative. And it's really interesting because I feel like a lot of these sports media personalities, they're not that creative. They're not that. There's something about sport for some reason, because I look at sport as art, but there's something about the people who cover sport that really lack an artistic touch.
Makes sense.
And really lack a creative way of thinking. I guess it's because it's so black and white. Maybe because sports are so number centric, and because if Sammy averages 15 points a game and and this kid averages 17. Well, obviously the guy who averages 17 is better. I'm allowed to look at it in black and white. But if I'm really thinking about, like, the way I like to look at it, and I'd say a lot of sports fans do, is, well, Sammy averages 5 more assists than him. Sammy, he's a better leader on his team. He brings up the group. They've won 6 games in a row. This team's on a 7-game losing streak, right? So it's like, so many sports media personalities look at it in black and white because it allows that. The numbers and things like that allow that. And I just want to be anti that, and I feel like you have given me that sword to be anti that. Because prior I was like, I don't know what creativeness looks like. I don't know what an artist touch in sports looks like. And maybe I felt it, but I've never really looked at it in that way till me and you like really reconnected. And everything we put up on, Sammy's favorite picture that we put up on my wall was a picture of Michael Jackson and Michael Jordan dribbling, Michael Jackson was dribbling a ball and Jordan was guarding him.
Yeah.
That's your favorite one.
Yeah.
And when we first started our process, Sammy was like, he was saying, show me anything you think is cool. And I've never had anyone ask me that. Like, you were like, put everything that you ever have thought of as cool and put it in like a doc.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I think Ninja Turtles is cool. I think this, and that actually allowed me to develop my own artistic touch and view and point of view, you know? And to bring that all back to sports betting, it's like, yeah, go ahead, just take the easiest bag because it offers you this much more money. And because it's easier on your life to not have to think about how you could think of ways to beat that. But I'd rather take that road where it's like, I'd rather try and think of a fucking way to beat this. Or you know what? Just to build something way cooler, like with more initiative, with a real mission, you know? I hate that, bro. I really hate how often people just kind of, they want to go to the easiest bag. And sports betting provides that bag times 10. I mean, think of how many content creators are sponsored by Steak or sponsored by Rain Bet and shit like that. And it's like, bro, think of something else. Think of something else. You know, as much as I hate, no, hate's a strong word, as much as I maybe dislike someone like Logan Paul, he built Prime. And it's like, that's something. That bag is going to be 10 times more than what sports betting could have offered you because it's a really good product. I mean, maybe it doesn't taste that great, but I'm saying the packaging and everything, he got buy-in from the youth. I think that's awesome, right? And I would have, if I was in that position, I would have added a little bit more of a mission, you know, behind it to make people support it long term, right? Whether that be a donation to a foundation, to you know, whatever amount of proceeds go to my foundation, to this foundation trying to help this, whatever, right? But that's how you beat it. You have to build something 10 times better. You have to work 10 times harder. And that excites me. And that's what we're gonna do. That's like our ultimate, that's when we meet at the mountaintop.
And I have a lot of faith in like future generations, younger generations, because people do learn, and enough families, enough fathers, enough cousins and siblings and brothers are gonna lose thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Like,
it's horrible, man. Bankruptcy, divorce.
But it's like the further these companies double down on gambling, the more of an audience there will be for just like, get this away from me. You know, like every time I see that, I think of my brother, I think of my dad, or I think of my cousin who lost everything. Like, I just want to watch sports. And, you know, that's where I think a lot of, for both of our worlds, a lot of the powers that be are slipping up by being too greedy.
Yeah.
And it's opening windows, definitely.
Yeah. And that's where we fall into place, man. That's the pathway God has laid out for the both of us, is to fill those spaces. I feel like so like empowered even having this conversation, because it's like, that's what I'm here for. That's why, that's what I feel like is my purpose on earth, is to build a safer place, a more enthusiastic place, and one that, bro, you can feel when people sell out. You can feel it. You don't have to, it's a feeling. You can just tell.
Yeah.
They lose that look in their eyes, the feeling in the tone of their voice. They got their bag, they're good.
Yeah, conviction.
Right, and a part of me is like, bro, I hope I never get that crazy amount of money that I'm like, deep down maybe like, oh, I kind of want it. I hope I never find it. You know, I hope I never have $1 billion sitting in front of me, because it's like, I don't need that. I'd rather give 80% of that away, 90% of that away. I look at someone like Kyrie Irving. You brought him up earlier. He's a giant inspiration for me. I always see videos of him, like, you know, and it's never by his omission. People are always speaking for him. Kyrie just came into my school and donated $70,000. Kyrie just came into my school and gave, this amount of money. Kyrie just donated to this foundation. Like, that's who I want to be. That's what I want this brand to stand for. And I'll never need that much money, and neither will you. So it's like I'd feel way better giving it all away, or as much of it as possible. That's because that greed is like the death of all authenticity. That greed is that death of all authenticity. To bring it back to sports, I mean, ESPN lost all authenticity as soon as they went pure gambling, pure hot takes, that's just greed. You just want clicks so damn bad. You want this so damn bad.
Well, part of the problem here, and this is where White Rock comes into play, the ESPN is owned by DraftKings. It's all the same company. Everything is BlackRock.
Yeah.
Like literally, the people who tell ESPN what to do.
Yeah.
Also own the gambling companies.
And Disney.
Yeah.
By the way, I mean, but I feel like that's what we're here for. I feel like that's our mission. I'm empowered. I mean, you're gonna have to kill us to make that not happen. And if that happens, that's okay. But the message will be clear that like we're standing for something real.
Amazing. That's a good place to switch it. I'm gonna get a final shot of us right here. I'm gonna ask a couple final questions and let's hit it. So I'm gonna ask you 2 questions. You can take your time to think about it.
You want to get my phone too?
I kind of like how it's gonna have that
bet.
meta angle. It's been 58, so we're right about 3.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. So the 2 questions, you can think about them. One is give just like a 60-second kind of summary of what Sideline Talks is and what you want to do with the world. And then the other question is give me, Sam Tree, advice for what you want to see me bring out into the world.
Okay. Let's start for the first one. Ask me again the first one.
So give me a kind of 60-second, 1-paragraph summary of what Sideline Talks is, what it is to you, and what you want it to be to the world.
Okay, Sideline Talks is a sports media company that puts the art of sport first, and that is the centerpiece of our work of art. Is the sport itself and what it, how it brings people together, how it instills discipline, teaches teamwork, instills all the right values in young minds that are constantly being poisoned on a day-to-day basis in today's society.
Yeah, it's like I hate how the most pure things like music and sports and love and intimacy get hijacked and become a profit mechanism.
Yeah, and my only goal is if I can show 100,000 kids that, actually you should do it this way. You have a safe space here. That's my biggest goal.
One thing's for sure, we're getting an office in Sweden where there's no copyright laws and we're streaming every game.
That'd be so fire. Wait, did that answer your question though?
Yeah, that was a great answer.
Okay, sweet. All right, now your second question.
What do you have, either advice or input or aspirations? What do you have for Sam Tree TV? What do you need from me? What does the world need from me?
I think from Sam Tree TV, you have so much to offer on a information basis. You know so many things, and I feel like that's your sword, and I think that is what you should be offering the world is you're almost like putting down the curtain. Peeling back the curtain? I think that's the saying. Like peeling back the curtain.
Breaking the fourth wall.
That is your role. But I'd also say, as someone who actually knows you, because so many people say they know you, right? But as someone who actually knows you, what I really want you to keep at like the absolute centerpiece is the idea of like love and respecting one another, because I know that it's something that you feel so strongly about, and I want people to see that from you more. You know what I mean? Like, I absolutely love the short you just posted of like who are we to basically talking about Jesus, and I think that is your ultimate superpower if you master it, and I think that is what I'd like to see you put out into the world, because it's actually something I learned a lot from you. You were telling me like there's so many little tidbits I've gotten from you where it's like, yo, we can't judge that person. I know you want to, but you can't. Like I almost did it back there where we were talking about, people that I feel have done you wrong, and you immediately were like, it's fine, right? And I want you to spread that to everybody else, because I think it's so important. There's so many people who, understandably so, in a way, are like, you know, this person deserves the worst. But it's like, but who are we to make that call? You know what I mean? So I think that if you keep that at the centerpiece of what you're trying to put out into the world, I think a lot of people will take a lot of good from what you're putting out.
That's love, brother.
My boy,
you.
my boy.
Appreciate you doing
Yes, sir,
this
bro.
with me
Of
outside
course.
in the cold.
Yeah, no, I got warm quick.
Beautiful.